Yep, he can hear you. D-Rock, try again.
Hey, Doug, can you just go over the thought process of taking the 1 point off the board after the Cleveland offside penalty, going for 2? That obviously impacted things late.
Sure. I mean, I think that you guys, I've always said this from the beginning, that if we have a,
Yep.
can't hear me.
We need the volume way up. We can barely hear you.
How's that?
Much better.
All right. Yeah, it's always been my philosophy that if there's a penalty on a play and it goes to the 1, then I'm always going to go for 2 unless it's something where it's going to become a 2-score game. So we had a run pass option, you know what I'm saying, for that play. And then they stacked the box and they were bringing pressure on the weak side. So, you know, it would cost us to throw it and we didn't execute it. But it's always been my philosophy from, you know, analytics, percentages, however you want to call it. Unless, you know, obviously if the extra point puts you up by 2 scores, then you're not going to do that.
And what did you think of Mike's play today? And does that have any bearing on who you're going to start next week? Is it Glennon's job now at this point?
I mean, it'd be ridiculous to say that it didn't have any bearing on it, you know, but I'm not ready or prepared right now to really answer any of those questions, you know, on who's going to be the quarterback. I thought Mike did a nice job, though. I could talk about him today. You know, I thought he made a lot of good throws. I thought he protected the football well. I think that he wish he had probably had a couple back, you know what I'm saying? A couple that, you know, sailed a little bit, you know, but I thought, you know, getting us in and out of plays and, you know, making some big throws to guys that, you know, he might not have been working with. I think Colin Johnson came up big. Trey Quinn got hurt early in the game, you know, on the punt return. And I thought those guys went in there and did a nice job. And, you know, we just fell short. I thought, you know, the first half, I thought we, you know, defensively, we had some manageable third downs that we could have gotten, you know, ahead of the sticks on or caused a punt. You know, we didn't take advantage of that. I thought that hurt us. I thought that in the, you know, for us, we kicked 2 field goals. You know, obviously, you know, that's something that, you know, we wanted to make sure that we were able to score down there. But I thought it was pretty even, you know, going into that, you know, into the half. You know, we missed the field goal at the end. Trying to get the ball, you know, down there to be able to score some points. But, you know, when we came back out, I think, you know, the run game we were concerned about. I thought we did a really good job of cutting off the runs on the front side. We had a free hitters on the backside that, you know, weren't able to go in there and make the plays, and we gave up some big runs on that. I thought, you know, Jarvis Landry had a hell of a game, but, you know, at the same time, I thought that, you know, there was about 2 or 3 balls that we were close on, you know, that could have easily gone the other way. And he did you know, he's a good player and he made those plays on it. So I thought, you know, that's pretty much, I thought James played really well for us. I mean, that defense is very difficult to run the ball against. You know, he had over 100 yards. I thought we, you know, protected well most of the game to give us an opportunity. You know, but we, you know, obviously we fell short.
Thanks, Doug.
Sure.
All right, let's go over to Hayes and then Mark Long.
Hey, Doug, do you have an update on Devon Hamilton?
Yeah, it didn't look good, so I don't know the exact thing. I think we'll have to wait, but it doesn't look. I think it looks tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if officially, I can't say it, but it didn't look good.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And then can you just describe James Robinson's running ability and production for you today? What you saw out of him?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing, Hayes, that, you know, we've seen all year. Just a very productive player, you know, very consistent, never becomes frustrated, never becomes, I mean, just steady, just a steady football player that's, you know, always going to, you know, get you to positive yards, always going to give you unbelievable effort. I think that's the one thing that people, I think, miss a little bit with him is just, you know, the effort. I think the ball popped out on him one time today, but, you know, that's the other thing. I mean, you know, when you're giving great effort and you're still being able to hang on to the football, you know, that's tough. A lot of times when you get into those piles, you got to make decisions on whether to keep going for the extra yards or to go down, you know, because ball security sometimes becomes an issue. But, you know, not with him. I think he's shown that he's a really good football player, and, you know, we're happy we have him. And, you know, I think we had about 20-something touches today, you know, for him. So I think, you know, that's a pretty good load.
Thank you.
Sure.
Go ahead, Mark.
Doug, what can you even say about the defensive effort that you guys got? You're down 3 coaches, you're down 7 or 8 key players, a number of starters, and you really stepped it up there on that side of the ball and gave yourself a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be, I really am, and I've said this from the beginning. I'm proud of the team. I'm not, happy with the record, and I'm frustrated with the record. Obviously, we all are. So I don't want to go down that road. But as far as guys that are really trying and working hard and doing everything they possibly can, there's some things that you kind of look at in the game. You're like, what were we thinking? What were you thinking there? And sometimes that happens, and just got to play and just do your job at times. And I think we've given up some plays that way. And at the same time, I don't think we've been able to make some plays, at key points in the game. But, as far as their preparation for the week, like I said before, people can say what they want. Obviously I understand that about the record, but, as far as the character and all that stuff, these guys work hard. Right now we're just not doing enough things to win football games.
Thanks, Mark. All right, let's finish up with Gene Fournette.
Doug, just curious. I mean, you obviously raved about what the job that James Robinson did today. On the 2-point conversion, I realized that there was a lot of people in the box, but James had done a good job on getting you 1 yard when you needed 1 yard. I was just curious as to why you didn't just, regardless of what defense was being played, you just didn't give it to J-Rob on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I think, we would have gone into a goal line situation there, to be able to do that. We decided that, we were going to go with, the 12 personnel package and, try to get it in there. Then they put an extra guy on the edge. And then we went with the pass. And, Gene, like anyway, how I've always been. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I wish I would have went goal line and ran the ball because I can't defend, a decision that, didn't work out for us. I can only tell you what my thought process was going into it.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
For. Get a quote at geico.com.
Colin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with Gary Smits.
Gotcha.
Hey, Colin, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Colin, can you talk a little bit about what unfolded in front of you on the touchdown play, and when you were trying to beat those guys to the corner? Did you think you could make it? Were you hoping? What was going through your mind, I guess, while you were running?
No, I knew I could make it. I saw the coverage or in zone coverage, cover 3. So, when I was making my way across, I knew it'd be opening in the zone and Mike do a perfect ball. And I just, kept running and did the rest for, to help my team out. So.
Okay. And obviously, no matter how good, Keelan played today and the tight ends played today, you and LaVisca were going to have to make some plays at some point for these guys to have a chance. So was that emphasized all week in practice that, they were going to need you?
Oh, for sure. With Chark, being down, Conley being down, it's, the next man up, and we can't have a drop off. So it's all about picking up where the older guys, left off and continuing not to have a drop off. Like I said, so me and LaVisca, we made some plays today, but we got to continue to get better and just learn from the film and go from there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go to John Shipley and then Dustin Fletcher.
Hey, Colin, can you just, speak a little bit to, I mean, you and Mike look like you guys have just had really good chemistry today. Can you just speak to how you guys are able to build that on such short notice?
Yeah, so in practice, oftentimes Mike will go with the scout team and I'll help out with the scout team as well. And it's easy to kind of just think that's, not a live rep. But if you approach it with, it's an opportunity to get work in, then you're building chemistry even in practice. And when our numbers called in the game, I feel like it shows. So you just got to take every rep in practice serious, whether you're going with the 1s, 2s, scout team, whatever. And I feel like that's what we were doing. So
Thanks, Colin.
Thanks. Let's go to Dustin and then Mark Long.
Hey, Colin. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. You had a great game out there, 4 for 96 and a touchdown. Can we expect to see more of this for the rest of the season?
I'm the type of guy just gonna always work, and whenever my number's called, I'm gonna do my best. So, I'm very confident. When I get more opportunities, like today, I'll just take advantage of them, and I'm just gonna be ready when my number's called.
All right. Thank you, Colin.
Yeah.
Thanks. Let's go to Mark and then Cassidy.
Hey, Colin, I was just curious, did you keep the ball?
I don't know where that ball is, but to be honest, but I got my first one thanks to Keelan Cole, so I appreciate him for that because I let a lineman spike it and I, couldn't find it until Keelan brought it to me. So I appreciated him for this. But in terms of this ball, I don't know where it's at. Maybe EQ has it, maybe not. So.
And are you just, you guys were down a number of guys defensively. Obviously, you two starting receivers offensively. Starting left guard. Are you impressed with what you guys have been able to do in terms of, even the last few weeks, maybe not last week, but in terms of staying tight and staying close despite all of the, maybe some of the frustrations that you guys have faced?
Well, I just know what type of group of guys we have in the locker room, and they're all fighters. So regardless of what's going on, obviously we're dealing with a lot of adversity, injuries, losing, all that. It's not easy. COVID on top of that, it's not easy, but we're just going to continue to fight because that's all we know. And, hopefully we'll catch a break one of these days.
Thanks, Mark. Let's go to Cassidy.
Hey, Colin. As you said, a lot of adversity this season. You're pretty much, I think, mathematically eliminated from playoff at this point. On the youngest team, how much can y'all use these last few games just to sort of maybe work out kinks, build up your expertise and knowledge for next season?
I feel like this is when you really just find out what type of person you are when everything is just going terrible. And I just feel like you just got to continue to fight. That was a message in the locker room after the game. We're doing it for each other. So just continue to fight, continue to get better. And that's pretty much the message. Just keep working.
And then, sorry to have to be the one to ask this, but on the 2-point conversion at the end of the game, it looked like Glennon had some room for grass. Was it always supposed to go to you? Was it called to go to you?
My route was an arrow route on the opposite side of the field. But then when I saw him scrambling, it's just everything's up for grabs. You just try to get open. That's what I try to do. Mike gave me a chance. I just couldn't come down with it. But, just live and learn and going to continue to work and practice. And next time I'm going to get it.
Thanks, Colin. Good game today.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Cassidy. All right, let's finish up with Gene.
Can you hear me, Colin?
Yes, I can hear you.
Could you just talk about the job that James Robinson did? I know this seems like a broken record week after week, the job this guy does, but he had 159 scrimmage yards today. And it just seems like you talked about this team being fighters, and James seems to epitomize that mindset.
Oh, for sure. He's almost not human the way he, week in and week out is able to perform and, and keep his body, healthy. It's just impressive. And it's really motivating too, seeing an undrafted guy come in here and putting up the numbers he's doing and being such a good teammate. It's motivating. And, he's a great guy for our locker room and just a beast.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thanks, Gene. Thanks, Colin, for your time today.
All right. Thank you.
You're all done.
Seeing you soon. Be safe.
Jaguars postgame continues after a Brown.
Mike, tell someone there to unmute your mic.
Yeah, unmute.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get started with Alex Fleming, and then we'll go over to Gary Smith.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Alex Fleming, Florida Sun.
How's it going?
Not too bad. 20 for 35 today, 235. There were a couple of receivers. The ball just barely sailed, and that opportunity down in the red zone where you're thinking about running. What did Cleveland's defense do that frustrated you this evening?
I mean, I feel like we moved the ball well. Just, came up a little short on the 2-point conversions. I think that's kind of the difference in the ball game. But I wouldn't say they played what we thought they were going to play. And I felt good out there seeing what they were playing. So I don't think it was anything they did. It just came up short on two-point conversions.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Let's go to Gary Smith and then Mike Duraco.
Yeah, Mike, what's it like throwing to a target like Colin, as tall as he is and with his skills?
Yeah, I think me and Colin got a lot of work together through training camp. And, he's a big target. He's easy to find. And there's not many, receivers in the NFL that are his height. I mean, I don't even know if there's any. So he had a great game. That touchdown that I threw, I didn't know he had that kind of burst. I figured there was just going to be a big completion. And next thing you know, he turns a corner and takes it to the house. So he had a really good game.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go to D-Rock and then Gene.
And Mike, first game action in over a year, first start in 3. What would you describe how it went?
Yeah, I think it just felt good to be out there again. Good to be competing on, the biggest stage in the NFL. And overall, I felt good. I didn't feel rusty. Like I said, I felt like I was seeing it well, throwing it well, getting the ball out on time. Felt in control and command. I'm sure I'll watch the tape and there'll be some balls I wish I had back. But, overall, I felt good.
Have you done enough, you think, to be back in there again next week or any other point the rest of the season?
That's not my call. That's up to Coach Marrone or whoever makes those decisions.
Thanks, Bo.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to Gene and then Mia.
Hey, Mike. This is the first time you've been able to watch James Robinson from the vantage point that you had in a game. You're watching him trying to fight for yards. What did you see from him out there today that you maybe might not have noticed having to watch it from the sideline before today?
I don't think there's really anything that felt different. I just think James he's a real deal. I mean, he's a legit starting running back in the NFL. And the thing that I love about James is he doesn't take, he never has lost yards. He's always falling forward. He turns what could be 2nd and 10s into 2nd and 6s. And those add up over time. I mean, he keeps the game in manageable situations. And he's a special talent. I mean, how he fell out of the draft, I have no clue. But we are lucky to have him because he's one of the better backs in the league.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gene. All right, let's go to Mia and then John Shipley.
Hey, Mike, just curious your take on the 2-point conversion earlier in the game that you guys went on, and then also what you saw on the 2-point conversion at the end there.
Yeah, just the first one, trying to give Keelan a chance and just kind of we'll have to see on film. I don't know if, it was just not on the same page type of deal. I don't know who was at fault. It's kind of irrelevant. We have to get on the same page on that. And then the second one, I kind of just saw a bunch of bodies. I think I had someone open that I wish I would have seen, but I didn't see it, and then try to escape and make a play. And unfortunately, they made a good play on the scramble.
Were you happy, though, with the decision to go for 2 earlier in the game? Did you agree with that?
I mean, it's an aggressive mentality. I mean, we're a 1-10 team. I mean, why not? So, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
And then just one more quick follow-up. Doug said that on that first 2-point try, they stacked the box. You guys were thinking run. Just curious, obviously hindsight is 20/20, but what was your take on that, considering what the performance James put out there today was?
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. They gave a cover 0 look, 9 guys in the box, 1-on-1 on the outside, and I'll take Keelan Cole 1-on-1, anytime. So I don't regret it. Wish the outcome was different, but I'm with the decision.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mia. Let's go to John Shipley and then John Reed.
Hey, Mike. This was obviously your first time, playing with this team on Sunday. What can you just say about the fight and resiliency of the roster, considering really the youth of it?
Yeah, I think I've observed it, and now seeing it, I think I'm sure it's been a topic after every game, but I mean it's real. This is a bunch of hardworking guys. I mean we put up a fight. We don't give in. It's a young team, but we got a lot of heart, and we're going to lay it all out there, whether we win or not. I don't know, but at least we give it our all every week.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, let's finish up with John Reed.
That was similar to my question, but just you said something about the coaching staff deciding to be aggressive. Just to talk about the way you guys, I mean, it looked like it was aggressive on both sides of the ball, including the defensive front, and just I know fighting to the end, but just what caused the aggressiveness today? You feel?
I mean, I can't speak for the coaches or defense. Like I guys told you in the beginning of the week, I mean, I was out there feeling like I had nothing to lose and let it rip. And I felt like that's what I did. Took some shots, hit a couple, missed a couple. But, yeah, I think we laid it all out there. And, I think maybe they probably have the same mentality. What do we have to lose now?
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Mike. You're all finished. Appreciate your time.
Forward to seeing you soon. Be safe.
You won't find a better deal to keep your ride clean than Scrubble's Flexible Service Car Wash. Start in the tunnel wash and experience state-of-the-art equipment while enjoying a soapy light show. Our quality soaps and solutions keep your vehicle streak-free. Every 3-minute car wash package comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Visit us at the St. John's Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. And coming soon to Kernan and Atlantic. Trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive. Go Jags!
Jaguars postgame continues 27-25. Browns over the Jaguars in Week 12. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor. Let's get to the TIAA Bank stats check in this one. And we take a look at the team stats in a game that featured 6 lead changes today. Cleveland led the way in total yardage, 459 to 375. They had 25 first downs to the Jaguars' 22. Cleveland 5 of 11 on third down. The Jags were 5 of 13. Rushing net yards, Cleveland went for 207 as a team today. The Jags with 140. Passing net, 252 for Cleveland, 235 for the Jags. The Browns had 6 penalties and 47 penalty yards against them. The Jaguars had 5 penalties for 24 yards. The only turnover committed by Cleveland. The Jaguars defense got that fumble recovery at the start of the second half. And time of possession in favor of the Browns, 32 minutes, 41 seconds. A lot of running today, as expected, I think, coming in.
I think you're right. Let's look at the individual stats first for the Jaguars.
Started with Gary Smith.
Hey, Jared, can you talk about how the young corners played Josiah and Luke today, and under some difficult circumstances, and even though Jarvis Landry got him a couple of times, do you think they improved as the game went on?
Yeah, they probably just had to get their feet wet. Those guys, that was their first opportunity this year to really get some starter reps, and I think they did an amazing job. Obviously, it's just hard to step into that role, but it's kind of expected of you, next man up mentality. And I think they did a really good job this Sunday.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go to Alex.
How you doing, Mr. Wilson?
I'm good, man.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. You and Weingard were dropping some body blows on some Cleveland Browns wide receivers today. Was it an emphasis not to make sure you guys got beat deep, or did you want it to control the sway of the game by being enforcers?
I think the emphasis is really to stop the run, first and foremost. 2-7 and 2-4 for them are really good backs, power backs. Cleveland's been doing an amazing job running the football all year, so that was just a mentality all week. Kind of, we definitely had to bring our big boy pads and make some tackles, and I think we did a pretty good job at that today. But definitely got a L. So Gotta improve, man.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to Demetrius.
Hey, Jared, could you just talk about the difference in play calling today with Todd Wash absent, obviously, just how different the game was for you guys on defense?
I wouldn't say it was necessarily different. Pretty much the same calls. Kind of Walsh just wasn't on the sideline. I know my safety coach were calling the plays from the box, but there was no difference really. We really just got to go out there and execute as a defense.
Was this probably the most bizarre week of practice for you guys on defense, just not having any of the defensive coaches there?
Yeah, it was a week like none other. We hadn't had the real opportunity to be kind of like with our coaches, and they had themselves have an opportunity to be hands-on with coaching us. Everything was really strictly virtual. Coaches didn't get here until Saturday, and Walsh is still out. So it was definitely a different week than others, but no excuses, man. No excuses.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. All right, Dustin, you want to go ahead?
Yep. Thank you, Amanda. Hey, Jared. Pretty good game for the defense today. You guys didn't get beat deep a whole lot. Was there an emphasis on stopping things over the top as well as playing downhill against the run? And what is the challenge to play like that against a team like Cleveland?
Cleveland, honestly, I think their MO is to run the football. So they have vertical threats outside, but just my personal opinion, since OBJ has been down, they haven't really took those big shots downfield. They're kind of sticking to what they do best, and that's running the football. So they took a couple shots, but not that many, and we kind of expected that. It was a run mentality for everyone.
And how hard is it to grind out games like this? How tiring is it to just constantly go against a power running team?
I mean, it's tough, but I think everyone on the defense and everyone in our locker room will accept any challenge like that. You give us a blade of grass, we'll defend it. So running the football is honestly probably a strong suit for us because pin our ears back and let's go. Pad under pad.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dustin. All right, let's go to Mark, and then we're going to finish up with Cassidy.
Hey, Jared, you've been here through the highs and lows. Where does this one rank for you in terms of, I mean, it's a 10-game losing streak that's now the longest single season losing streak in franchise history. How tough is this to go through?
Obviously, it's tough. It's frustrating. We got to find a way to win. Not going to really make any excuses about it. Injury situations, coaching, whatever the case may be, we just have to find a way to win on Sundays. And I think good teams do that. It doesn't really have to more so do about talent or anything. It's really just a team coming together and finding a way to win. And it's tough right now. I mean, we done dropped 10 in a row. I don't think anybody in there is happy about that situation. But one thing about the locker room, it's still tight. It's still close. And it's still encouraging to come into work, knowing that guys, even though we're battling our asses off, we just are trying to find a way to still get a W.
Thanks, Mark. All right,
Thanks,
Cassie,
Jared.
let's finish up.
Hey, Jared, actually kind of building off that, we saw Miles a lot today, really kind of get on guys and try to keep, I guess, y'all motivated. I know he likes to talk a lot even normally, but what is he doing to really just kind of keep guys, motivated and not just laying down, so to speak?
I mean, Miles is that guy. He's a vocal person, like naturally. And then now, he's in year 5 with me. Got that C on his chest for a reason. So it's really him just being himself. And obviously guys are going to look to him to get motivation, to get encouragement because he's an older guy on the team now. So, I mean, Miles is really just naturally stepping into a role that I feel like he's kind of always been. It just may have been overshadowed with different teams that we've had here in the past.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cassidy. And thanks, Jared. Appreciate your time.
God bless y'all.
All right, thanks, everybody. We'll send you.
Jaguars Game Day is presented by VyStar Credit Union. If you believe free checking is better, join VyStar. That's checking with no fees and no minimums, no kidding. At VyStar, they never forget that it's your money. Welcome back. Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor. Time now for our Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. Here's how it works. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Fred gets a vote and a half to break any ties. And I'm going to start today with James Robinson. Just going to jump right in there.
Okay.
James Robinson had a nice day at the office, obviously. Big day on the ground, 22 carries, 128 yards, a touchdown, 5.8 yards per carry average. And Robinson with 5 catches today on 6 targets for 31 yards as well, an option out of the backfield in the passing game. Give me James Robinson. Mike.
All right, let me go next so we can set up some drama for Fred here, okay? And I think I know what Fred will do. But you know how the narrative this year has been how Russell Wilson has not received a single MVP vote, right?
Correct.
Because you only get one vote. Like the AP voters, you only vote for first place. So you don't vote for second, third, and whatever. So I am kind of acknowledging that James Robinson had a fantastic game. However, I'm going to give my vote and leave it the fate in the hands of Fred Taylor and giving my vote to Mike Glennon today because I thought he played a very solid football game. I don't think a lot of people expected a whole lot out of Mike Glennon. He didn't turn the ball over, threw a couple of touchdowns. Could have been better? Yeah. But I thought he made this, considering you had no DJ Chark and no Chris Conley. He took, what was left in the passing game, made something of it, helped the offense move up and down the field along with the help of James Robinson, obviously. So my vote goes to Mike Glennon, Fred, and I have a feeling I know which way you're going to go, but maybe not. Maybe you'll surprise us.
Hey, Mike, you know which way I'm going to go, man. It's a no-brainer for me, man. Coming into this game today, I think James Robinson had 762 yards. So he's getting a lot closer to that 1,000-yard mark, and I'm excited for him. But the way he ran today, as you mentioned, having your number 1 and your number 2 tight end out today, you have your third-string quarterback in there today. You knew going into the game the Browns were going to have that guy in the box to stop the only bright spot you have on offense, which is James Robinson in the run game. Shout out to the offensive line. They stepped up to the plate today, but my player voting, MVP voting today is James Robinson.
James Robinson. Yes.
Just shy of 900 now on the season.
Correct.
10 shy of 900. Pretty good. And
Yeah,
only
really
trailed Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook coming into today.
Well, Henry had a big day at the
he
office,
did, but
too.
that's all right. He doesn't have to lead the league in rushing. It'd be nice if he did, but, nice 1,600-yard combined season be okay.
Yes, it would, especially in a season like this.
Absolutely.
We need a bright spot.
No doubt, and a young bright spot building block.
Oh, yeah.
That you can build around.
Without a doubt.
So James Robinson, the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game today, the Jaguars running back. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. No wonder it's the official truck of the NFL and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back in a moment with the Baptist Health Injury Report. Unfortunate listing of the injuries today. Some more to add to a long list as it stands. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
At Jacksonville International Airport, the health and safety of travelers is their #1 priority. They're doing everything they can to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, from adhering to CDC cleaning guidelines, requiring facial coverings in the terminal, and encouraging social distancing at every point of the airport experience. For a comprehensive look at what the airport, airlines, and their shops, restaurants, and rental cars are doing to keep passengers safe, please visit jacksairportcares.com to learn more. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Joe Adib from Bono's. I just want to let you know that we have now reopened all of our dining rooms. We appreciate all the love that you have showed us during this crisis. For over 71 years, we have been here for you through good times and bad. Our award-winning barbecue and our unbelievable staff look forward to seeing you soon. Be safe.
Jaguars postgame continues. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Browns 27, Jaguars 25. Glad you're along with us. Time now for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good, but this is another long list today. In the first quarter, Quinn had a hamstring issue, was questionable to return. Dakota Allen had an ankle issue early in the game. Correa, the linebacker in the fourth quarter, had some cramps, but he came back. Devon Hamilton with a right knee issue and was carted off on the final drive of the game. And Rusnak, a little later on the last drive, was landed on top of by an offensive lineman, driven into the ground. The Hamilton one, they're all unfortunate, obviously, but the Hamilton one is the one you just really hate to see. The young guy's playing better as the season goes on. He's another guy you feel like could be a building block on the interior of your D-line, and let's just hope it's not bad.
Without question, he's a building block, Fred. I mean, he's going to be a guy you project as one of your top 3 defensive tackles next year, and I know those guys rotate in there a lot, but you hope it's like a Josh Allen situation, right, where we feared for the worst and got pretty good news on him, Fred. But that's the thing that I'm most fearful for now down the stretch here, Fred. Young guys that you are going to consider to be part of your core going forward that are just going to have to spend a lot of time in the offseason rehabbing just to get ready to get out there on the practice field.
Yeah, Mike, here you have it. You know, they confirm that you're completely eliminated from postseason.
Yes.
And I think at this very moment, if the coaches aren't going to say, look, we got to protect the young guys, our building blocks, I think at least it should come down from management. I mean, because it doesn't make any sense to have to continue to start over year after year after year. You have to look at the guys that you deem are going to be staples and the level of potential that they have. You want to make sure that those guys are here, healthy, and ready to go next year, because this year is for the most part in the bag.
So what do you do, Fred, then, if you're in that circumstance? You still have 5 weeks to go.
Yeah.
Right? There's a long stretch, and you know, you're depleted on the roster now. So,
right.
I mean, how can at what point do you say you consider shutting guys down? I mean, you've still got over a month left in the season here.
Mike, if you've seen a guy and you've seen that this guy has, you know, XYZ potential, whatever level that might be, okay, fine. Check him off the list. Now, if there are guys you have question marks about, every week is an interview from this point going forward. The best way to interview a guy, evaluate a guy, is give him an opportunity to get out there and play. You didn't have a preseason this year. A lot of guys missed that. A lot of young guys missed that valuable time. Use these last couple games as an opportunity. Use it as their preseason. You know, put some film on. Put some film. Give them an opportunity to get some film, and evaluate that film and see what you have. That's the only, I mean, for me, that's the best way to look at it.
There you have it, the Baptist Health Injury Report. Unfortunately, another long list and some key guys again today. Let's come back in a moment. Final thoughts ahead of next week's game. The Jags have dropped 10 consecutive games. After winning week 1, they're now 1-10 today. A loss 27-25 to the Browns. And this is Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Joe Adib from Bono's. I just want to let you know that we have now reopened all of our dining rooms. We appreciate all the love that you have showed us during this crisis. For over 71 years, we have been here for you through good times and bad. Our award-winning barbecue and our unbelievable staff look forward to seeing you soon. Be safe.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Final thoughts. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars running back and Hall of Fame semifinalist.
Heck yeah. Congrats, Freddie. We should have led with that, man.
Fred, are you with us? Fred is not with us. We'll get back
Fred's
to Fred.
protesting me not mentioning that earlier.
It's okay. We'll get back to Fred coming up in just a few moments here. The Jaguars, well, we talked about it in the pregame
you
show.
I know.
Okay, we got it in.
Opportunity. I have had the opportunity. I didn't take the opportunity.
We got it in. That's all right. We'll get some more thoughts. Hey, there he is, Fred. We hear you now. Hey, congratulations.
I don't know if you heard all that. Congrats on the semifinal status.
I appreciate it. No guy, I didn't hear it. I had to make a quick run, but I got back as fast as I could. Mike, I appreciate it, man. For me, it's being the only running back on the list. I think that's the one thing that stood out to me. Being in the conversation again, being a part of the semifinals list. I don't know what all of that means, but someone asked me why was I so passionate, adamant about wanting to be in the Hall of Fame. Why is it so important to me? Well, for me, I think most of my career, a lot of it to a lot of people have been overlooked. You know, and I think this will just solidify and erase all of the doubt to some people, you know, in terms of what type of career I had. So I think one day it will happen. Just being in this position is a good thing, and I'll just be patient and wait for that day to come.
Anybody who doubts it, Fred, didn't watch you play.
That part, because you go back and you look at, you know, the whole Pro Bowl thing, you know, and a lot of times I still question why not wait until week 16 to make the Pro Bowl votes. And it's like, it doesn't take that long to vote on the guys.
Sure.
And a lot of my career was, if I got hurt earlier in the season, I pushed and finished strong at the end. Or I just simply pushed and finished strong from beginning of December, you know, through week 16. they shut the voting down around week 12 or 13 or something like that, or they start the voting. So that part didn't make a lot of sense to me. And the guys that weren't able to see me in this market, being stuck in this region, especially during those losing years. But whatever the case may be, I'm in the conversation. I'm thankful to be a part of the 25, and hopefully we can continue to charge forward and get in that big room and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a shame for me personally. Tony Smith and I go to the Super Bowl every year, and by that week you are down to the finalist list, and we obviously at that point, if Tony Baselli has made it there, we talk to as many Hall of Fame voters as we can, and we try to preach the gospel. So doesn't look like we're going to get that opportunity this year, Fred, with COVID-19 going on. But I will say this, not to belabor it, but I know on more than one occasion, Jim Brown, who is arguably the greatest player in NFL history, certainly considered probably the greatest running back in NFL history, or right there with the best, considered you the best active running back in the National Football League, and he expressed that more than once. So
and hopefully that stuff like that will carry weight. Hopefully, just looking at the comments from, let's say, the Ray Lewises of the world, and another from an offensive guy drafted in my class, Randy Moss. Those guys and their comments, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, these guys that I played against. So and guys that I made a comment this past week about the guys that they try and put in the room, and I played a lot of those guys in the Zach Thomases and the John Lynch's of the world, and I gave them the business.
I heard you killed them, Fred. I believe it's
I think I did more
something
than
close
that.
to the quote.
Right. Yeah, it was, I can't say that on air here, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and just looking at a few notable running backs that are in there and comparing my career to theirs: OJ, Terrell Davis, John Riggins, Earl Campbell, Larry Zonka, Gail Savage. These are modern day backs that my numbers are better than across the board. So I mean, I'm speechless, I guess, at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens, and congratulations. The Jaguars, though, moving ahead here, are now 1-10, and next week they head to Minneapolis to face the 5-6 Minnesota Vikings, and usually that's a tough road environment, a little different this year.
And they're hot, and they started the year miserably, and they performed a lot better. Now, they did lose to Dallas, but they won today in comeback fashion, late dramatic fashion, without Adam Thielen. So they present a lot of problems for you right now, Fred.
They're a team that very inconsistent, as I see them. You lose to Dallas, then you come back, and you play a hard-fought game today after being down. What were they down? 14 points or something like that at one point against the Panthers. But, again, they fought back and they won it by a point. That's all that matters. They got a great running game led by Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins, he's playing well. The young receiver Jefferson, I mean, he's a top candidate for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, they have some tools. Adam Thielen, you mentioned him. So they have tools, and their defense is they're solid. They're a good defense, so it's not going to be an easy game. The offensive line, they're going to have to come out and play as they did today, and the defensive line, they're going to have to play a little better than they did today, because Dalvin Cook is a lot more elusive and a lot faster than Nick Chubb, and he runs the ball downhill. So it's another tough challenge for our defensive line and defense. So let's see what happens when they go up there.
Fred, have a great week. We will catch up with you a little bit later and talk to you next week.
All right, guys. You be good, man. Be blessed. Stay
All right,
safe.
Fred.
Fred
Thank you.
Taylor is out of here. Proud of the Jaguars running back. And we're out of here on Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll take your calls. 355-NFL1, the number. And Bucky Brooks will join us from Los Angeles, NFL Network analyst. Senior VP of Communications is Dan Edwards. VP of Production, Patrick Kavanaugh. Executive Producer, Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Tony Smith and Linda Fortunato are the producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, and Max Hockman produce our shows for Jaguars.com. For Jeff Lageman, Fred Taylor, and Mike Dempsey, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Browns 27, Jaguars 25 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This is the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome back. Welcome into the Scoreboard Show. Welcome in. Here we are, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. We are here. Hello. 27-25. Browns over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Bucky Brooks coming up from Los Angeles to join us as well. The phone lines are open, 355 NFL 1. Bucky Brooks is with us.
There
Bucky, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hanging in there. You know, this was a back-and-forth football game. 6 lead changes today, Bucky. A little excitement around here. Just fell a little bit short in a couple of situations there.
Yeah, a couple situations. I thought it was interesting, the post-game comments of Doug Marrone, why they went for 2 when they were up 19-17. They could have gone up 20-17. And when you look up, that's kind of the deciding factor. He said it's always been a philosophy of his, if there's a penalty and they move it to the 1 to go for 2. But that ended up being the deciding factor. So I just wonder how he feels about that now, because this was a winnable game for the Jaguars.
It definitely was, and I think that'll be much discussed throughout the course of the week. But, you know, I think, Bucky, we're talking about it in context of Cleveland not going for that field goal late, right? It's 4th and 1. I just think today's NFL coaches' mindset is so much more aggressive that you feel like if you don't get every point you possibly can, it's going to come back to bite you later. And I know the conventional wisdom is, of course, kick that extra point, make it a 3-point game there. But we're thinking the same thing with Cleveland. Why aren't you kicking what amounts to like a 38-yard field goal, something like that,
two-score game,
and make it an 11-point game, and they go for it and get stuffed, and that's what gave the Jaguars the chance to get right back in it.
Yeah, like it's weird. I think a couple of things that are in play when you're Cleveland Browns. You feel like you're a power running football team. You feel like anytime you have a short yardage situation, particularly when you're talking about 4th and inches or 4th and less than a yard, you should be able to run it up inside and get it. And, you know, like it's uncommon to see the amount of gambles that we've seen. I just feel like this weekend everyone is going for it on 4th down. They're doing 2-point conversions when you're not supposed to. But they're doing it. I think depending on the identity of your team, Cleveland has fancied themselves as a power running football team. They've had success running the football. They thought they could kind of salt it away with that. But to me, I think you go up by 2 scores and you make Jacksonville kind of run the length of the field and have things go their way.
Plenty to get to. Your calls coming up. The phone lines are open, 355-NFL1, 355-6351. We'll open them up when we come back on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Committed to the team, committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash. Made fresh. Dailies.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Mas Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, Scoreboard Show. Browns over the Jags 27-25. Browns are 8-3. The Jags are now 1-10. They've dropped 10 straight. They're officially eliminated from playoff contention, Bucky, in case you were still holding out hope. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. Let's get to the phone calls. I know they're lighting up.
355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We go to Bobby in Orange Park leading things off. Bobby, you're on with Bucky Brooks here on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey there, Bucky and JP and Mikey. Hey, look here. These Jaguars are not far from being a real contending team. They need another draft class, and they got it coming up. And I really think they got really good chance here of being a really, really good team next year. I was very disappointed today. And the quarterback play, again, is where they're hurting that really bad. But that Robinson kid is something to behold. And I hang up and listen to your comments, guys.
All right, thank you. Buck, first, what do you make of Mike Glennon's performance today?
I mean, I thought it was solid. I think the thing that you wonder when you see Mike Glennon come in and play like this, why didn't they hand him the ball sooner if they were going to move around and play musical chairs at the quarterback's position after Gardner Minshew? Why did Jake Luton get the call over Mike Glennon? I think what he does is, regardless of his physical ability, he's able to get them in the right plays, the way he's able to control and manage the game. I just felt like there was a sense of calm with the offense. Even though he missed some throws, I just feel like I was looking at an NFL quarterback. And, I don't know how good Mike Glennon is in like the long-term plan and the long-term structure thing, but I do believe this offense was better with him at the controls just because he's played, he understands the NFL game, he's seen enough defenses where it doesn't overwhelm him or spook him. And because of that, I think the offense responded accordingly.
I think a lot of people would hear that call and say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? How close they're being to contention? The Dolphins went from a 1-win team to a 10 or 11-win team when they picked up Chad Pennington in an offseason once. It can happen if you get the right guy in at quarterback, but are they just a draft class and free agency class away from at least being a contender in the AFC South?
It's tough because there's so many moving parts, right? I mean, are we saying if they're coming back as presently constructed, same coaching staff and everything like that? I don't know, because then I think a lot of it depends on the quarterback and how much is Jay Gruden willing to meet the quarterback halfway to get him up and running. With some of the young guys that are playing today, I think we can count on James Robinson being a player. I think Laviska Shenault has shown that he can be a player. We know what they have on the outside with DJ Chark and some of those other guys. I think defensively is always the question mark because this is a team that is not nearly as talented as it was in 2017. And so can you continue to get pieces? And with Josh Allen coming off an injury and some of these other guys returning off injuries, you just wonder where they're going to be in terms of their development next year. And so I think they can be very, very competitive. I'm not quite ready to say that, hey, this can be in a contender with a quick turnaround.
Let's, what, you got any more calls?
Not at the
All
moment.
right, 355-NFL-1 is the number, 355-6351. Let's take our timeout. We'll come back with more of your calls and plenty more commentary ahead after a 27-25 loss for the Jags. 10 in a row. 10 straight. It's hard to stomach.
Not good.
It's not easy. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3 to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The best way to feel love is to share it at Hanania Subaru of Orange Park. We always go the extra mile with bigger selection, more savings, our best service. Only Subaru of Orange Park gives you a nationwide lifetime warranty and 1 year complimentary maintenance on new and used vehicles. Plus, when you get a new Subaru during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charities at Hanania Subaru of Orange Park. Online at SubaruofOrangePark.com. See dealer website for full details.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Now more than ever, the Jaguars want to recognize our fans and everything you do to make football, well, football. As part of the NFL Fan of the Year contest, the Jaguars are searching for one extraordinary Jaguars fan whose positive influence inspires others in Northeast Florida through their love of the game. You can win a trip to Super Bowl 55. Visit NFL.com/Fan of the Year now to nominate yourself or others for a chance to win.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. Your calls 355-NFL1. Browns 27, Jaguars 25. 1-10 record, and it's on to Minnesota next week to face the Vikings, who rallied today. What do we got?
Well, we've got Jimmy on the line at 355-NFL1. Jimmy's checking in from Riverside. Jimmy, you're up on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, bud.
This is all about coaching, and I'm just trying to figure out what did they see in Washington that they would hire Jay Gruden to be the offensive coordinator. I mean, I still haven't figured that out. This is absolutely about coaching. I could take coaches from other teams with this lineup, and I bet they would be better than 1-10.
Like who?
I would say Belichick. I could take Pittsburgh's coach, Tomlin. I'll take Tomlin. He lost Ben Roethlisberger and still got to 8-8.
Okay, that's one. Who else?
So do I need more than one?
Yeah.
This is coaching. Do you disagree that this is coaching?
I do.
What were the coaching decisions that you disagreed with today, Jimmy?
But it's the same old thing. You guys just mentioned coaching decisions that were wrong.
But you're the one who's calling all upset about it. We're just asking you what something obviously bothered you. What was it?
So here's the thing. I'm not upset because I'm not a Jaguars fan. So upset is not the proper word, but if you're telling me that Jay Gruden is a good offensive coordinator. That's what you're telling me.
You're the one who's making the point that it's something he did that caused them to lose, and I still have yet to hear what you say what that is.
I never said there was something that he did. I said it's all about
or something he didn't do.
It's all about coaching.
Either something he did or didn't do. I don't even know why you're all fired up. You're not a Jaguar fan. You're all fired up to calling about the Jaguars. I don't get it.
I'm not fired up.
All right.
I'm not fired up.
Mike's fired up. Mike's fired up.
You guys are used to mediocrity, and that's why you're coming at me instead of.
All right, Jimmy, let's get rid of it.
I like Jimmy. Keep it on. I like this.
Loses by 2 points, that's coaching. Period. Dot. Bye, guys. You guys are homers.
Have a good day.
Jimmy,
Appreciate
honestly,
that.
you never made a single point to back up your contention. We were going to let you. So every game that's lost by 2 points is a failure in coaching. It's a failure in coaching. So what did Jay Gruden do wrong today, Bucky, that obviously Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin, let's pick the most successful coach and the only coach who's undefeated. Yeah. Wow.
Well, get Bill Walsh
really go out on a limb.
Yeah,
You're not talking about mediocrity. That call was steeped in it, Jimmy. Bucky, what did Jay Gruden do wrong today that held them back in this game?
Oh, we lost Bucky. We don't have Bucky's
audio on Bucky?
Where's Bucky's audio?
Bucky, that's just mediocre.
Oh, what in the worst? Mediocrity is what it is.
Mediocrity
what are we doing?
Unbelievable.
Coaching. It's a coaching issue. I mean, come on. There he is. I got you, Bucky.
You got me?
Yes.
Now we got you now.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say this. I thought it was one of their better coaching jobs. The fact that they were able to stay in the game. I know when I look at the stat sheet, they had over 200 yards rushing, but I felt like they contained the running game for the most part. And they were there in the fourth quarter. I think if you're a Jaguars fan, when you look at these games, it's about getting the game into the fourth quarter and can you put yourself in a position to win.
Got to stop you, Bucky. Some breaking news. Adam Schefter, this is a real Adam Schefter account, just tweeted that the Jaguars have fired GM Dave Caldwell per sources. So GM Dave Caldwell out, and that's the official Adam Schefter account. That's not a fake one. We've seen some fake ones before. That just happened literally seconds ago. Sorry to interrupt you there, Bucky, but I had to jump in with that news. And so the Jaguars have been officially eliminated, and the changes begin around here. I guess that's why that has happened.
That is a one way of looking at it. Shad Khan said he wanted to see it play out. Well, obviously the road to the postseason was probably long gone a while ago, but mathematically it ended today as well. So, Buck, if you want to finish your point there, I think
I think the general manager point is probably a bigger thing. That's that kind of changes everything, like going forward. Obviously, like when we talked about this team being competitive and how they can kind of make the jump next year, I think it is about finding the right guy who can kind of set the vision for the organization going forward. And this would be a significant change because obviously you would think that new GM is going to come in and bring in his own coaching staff and he's going to flip and swap out some of the front office people. And so it will be a significant change in the way the Jaguars have done business. And depending upon who that person is, like everyone is subject to evaluation. And so this is a tough time. It's a tough time for players. And so the last 5 or 6 games when you're on the field, like you want to make sure that you show up well because you look at all the tape and you do all those things. It's just one of those things it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult and challenging.
I think, too, the fact that you look at what Detroit did, they fired their GM and their head coach after their loss on Thanksgiving. The fact that it is apparently, according to the report, only the general manager, Bucky, leads me to believe that, like you said, they're going to let the next GM make that determination on the coaching staff rather than just blow everybody out all at one time. I don't know if you get a great advantage other than making the fan base that has been clamoring for a move like this happy. But it's not – most of the guys I would assume that you're going to want to interview for your head coach or your GM position are probably employed by another team right now, and you're probably not going to be able to speak to them until the season's over with anyway.
No, you're not. But I think what you're doing is you're clearing the decks to give yourself every opportunity to explore all options and avenues. And so some of those avenues and options will come in the National Football League. Some of those may come in the college ranks. And when you talk to like high-end college coaches, the only reason I want to throw this out is having conversations with like Brian Kelly and other guys. They talk about being the GM of their college situation. If you're going to like swim in those waters or fish in those waters, you want to be able to give that guy the opportunity to come in and make all the decisions when it comes to who he wants to be as personnel guy, the coach, and all of that. So I think part of the reason you make the move now with the GM is to really give yourself all of the options when it comes to making the search for the GM and the head coach.
Here's the quote from Jaguars owner Shad Khan, according to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. Quote, "I've met with Dave Caldwell to express my appreciation for his service to the Jaguars as our general manager. Dave was exceptionally committed and determined to bring a winner to Jacksonville, but unfortunately his efforts were not rewarded with the results our fans deserve and our organization expects. Our football operation needs new leadership, and we will have it with a new general manager in 2021. End quote. Let's come back. More of your calls. 355-NFL1 is the number. 355-6351. Browns over the Jaguars 27-25. Dave Caldwell is out as the general manager, and it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With Ring Central, the #1 global communication solution for business. Ring Central makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy, and it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving Ring Central free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new Ring Central.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Floridians know what it means to stand together. That's why Florida Blue is committed to the people of Florida by providing health care with lower costs and higher quality. Enroll within 60 days of life-changing events, such as losing your job, to get benefits like plans as low as $0 a month and up to $500 per year towards your premiums in wellness rewards. Call 1-800-750-0164 or visit floridablue.com/care today. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Incorporated. These health benefit plans have limitations and exclusions.
You won't find a better deal to keep your ride clean than Scrubble's Flexible Service Car Wash. Start in the tunnel wash and experience state-of-the-art equipment while enjoying a soapy light show. Our quality soaps and solutions keep your vehicle streak-free. Every 3-minute car wash package comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Visit us at the St. John's Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. And coming soon to Kernan and Atlantic. Trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive. Go Jags!
For over 20 years, TIAA Bank Field has teamed up with Siemens to provide a next-level game day experience for Jaguars fans. From lighting, safety systems, and keeping our fans cool to helping power up our massive video boards, Siemens solutions ensure our venue stays in peak condition. Now with their powerful cloud-based software solution, MindSphere, sensors in our field monitor moisture, fertilization, and temperature data to get to the root of the problem before they become real problems for our turf. Just like our team, we're working together to unlock our potential and get the win. Siemens, ingenuity for life.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. After a Jaguars loss to the Cleveland Browns, J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. And the news breaking just moments ago that the Jaguars have parted ways with general manager Dave Caldwell. And there were questions about what does that mean for the coaching staff as well. First off, Trent Baalke will serve as the interim general manager through the end of the 2020 season, according to Ian Rappaport. He is the team's director of player personnel and was hired in February of this year. As for the coaching staff and Doug Marrone, Shad Khan, according to Rappaport, spoke to Marrone after the game to confirm that the decision on Caldwell has no bearing on Marrone or the coaching staff, and that Khan informed Marrone that he and the coaching staff are secure through the end of the 2020 season. And that's the report from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network.
So, at least that removes any speculation about their status. And as we suspected, whether it's Trent Baalke, who may get the job, or after a search, somebody else, they'll be able to make that determination on the coaching staff. I would be, honestly shocked if a new GM didn't want to put his own guys in place rather than bring back a coaching staff of a team that has had a 10-game losing streak. But that's for them to determine going forward.
Bucky, what do you think of this setup now, the final month of the season? That's the way, that's the roadmap. That's what's going to happen here the next 5 weeks.
Well, I think obviously what you want to do if you're Shad Khan, you appreciate the efforts that Doug Marrone and his staff has made. It doesn't really make sense to fire him as well, because then you have to name someone on that staff as their interim coach. You might as well let Doug Marrone play it out and kind of see what improvements are made over the last 5 or 6 games. And then when it comes to the interim general manager, Trent Baalke's there just to handle the day-to-day operations, make sure that they're doing the things that they need to do when it comes to the practice squad and elevating and waiver wire transactions. But when we get to the end of the season, you'll have a new general manager eventually come in place. And at that point, he'll take a look at the organization. And I would think that he would move on from the coaching staff, but you never know. We've seen stranger things happen. But I think you want to give the new general manager the ability to hire his own guy and put his own plan in place.
All right, with that, the phone lines are buzzing right now, so let's go out, check in with our main man, Sakib, on the south side. Sakib, you're on with Bucky Brooks on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, bud.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, I called about something else, but as that was breaking, I've told you guys for weeks now, a long time, I wanted to clean house. I'm finally happy that Shad Khan and Tony Khan made one good decision and getting rid of this clown, Dave Caldwell, because that's what he is. And I hope Doug Marrone gets fired, that we clean house and we get new blood in, because it's time to start winning and not losing. I'm just happy today. And can you tell me why in the heck did he go for 2? Well, he could have went for 1. We could have had a tie ball game. Can you just explain that to me, because I don't understand that part.
He told you himself.
He said it
That's
himself.
His philosophy. Every time that you get a penalty on an extra point, he says it's his philosophy to automatically go for it. Now, I'm sure if you were, trailing by 1 point or something like that, it would be different. But there's still a lot of time left to play in that football game. The idea was, hey, if you make it, you're up 4, and a field goal can't tie you. Everybody focuses on what happens when it doesn't go in. What if they had attempted the extra point and Rosas missed it? That's possible too. So, it's just, I don't really have a problem with the aggressive coaching going for 2 in today's NFL, particularly when you get that thing put at the 2-yard line. So
no, I don't have a problem with the decision. I hate the play call. I'm gonna be honest with you. There were a couple of times we were in goal line phase. I just feel like anybody can make that call. Like, I think what you want the coordinator to do is, have a play, have some concepts, have something that we can say like, oh, okay, I understand that. But I just feel like the 50-50 jump ball that they did on 2 instances, one on like a 3rd and goal, they threw it up and they didn't get it, and then they came back on that 2-point play. I just feel like from an offensive standpoint, maybe you should have a play that has more options than just one single receiver on an isolated 50-50 ball.
Sure. All right, Sakib, thank you for the call. Yeah. Let's move along here and get Dean on the south side next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Dean.
Hey, good afternoon. Just like to follow up on a point that Frank Frangie made in the Jag pregame show today about the number of quarterbacks that are first-round draft choices for NFL teams. Obviously, there's exceptions, Brady being one of them. But the Jags just are not going to get it done with 2 6-round draft choices. And Glennon, who looked good, but he's a 3rd-rounder. I mean, the Packers years ago flirted with Magic Man, who was taken in the 10th round until Brett Favre showed up on the scene, and Packers led the championship years again, though. So I just don't think unless, we keep losing games, I think it's a good thing. It puts us in the Derby for a legitimate first-round quarterback. Not that I'll make it in the NFL, but I certainly am cheering for a good draft choice. Now we've got a new GM going to making the choice. I'm even more encouraged for seeing some winning down there at TIAA Bank Field.
All right. I
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. For the record, Brett Favre is a second-round pick.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
That's
So,
true.
just-
And the odds
no.
are better that a first-round
No
quarterback
question.
can stick around, Bucky.
Look,
and
Bucky,
do
we
it.
went through it in the pregame. Other than the Jaguars, there are two teams in the AFC West that have two second-round quarterbacks, Derek Carr and Drew Lock, who are their starters. Presuming everyone's healthy, right, because a lot's going on right now. Every other team in the AFC is playing with a first-round quarterback at the helm. So, yeah, the Jags stick out like a sore thumb with the depth chart the way it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you obviously understand it's the most important position in football. You have to invest in it. I think the thing is, we've talked about it. I think we talked about it on the show before. They've drafted quarterbacks in the first round before. Byron Leftwich, Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles. It's about picking the right quarterback. And if you don't pick the right quarterback, do you have the coach and coaching staff in place to make a guy who might not be perfect look okay because the system hides it. I think looking at Baker Mayfield today is the perfect example of a quarterback who probably shouldn't have been the number one overall, but they're trying to find a way to mask his flaws with the system that they're running. And the system has enabled him to look like a solid quarterback while they're winning games. I think that is what it comes down to. But in this year's draft, it's about picking the right guy. It's one of those things where it's kind of bittersweet, right? So I'm looking at the game today, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm like, I don't know if I really want to win because, you don't want to knock yourself out. The worst thing you could do is get the 5th pick where you don't get one of the top quarterbacks. And so I'm not advocating tanking, but I mean, if you're going to lose 10 in a row, you want to make sure you get the benefit of being able to get the guy that you want to get at the top of the board. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Buggy, this might have been the perfect outcome. I mean, it's competitive. It's down to the wire. It comes down to a 2-point try to tie this thing up, and you still preserve your draft position, right? You get some good individual performances. Some of your young guys shine. I'm fully with you, man. I've been saying this for weeks. I think this is you're right. At this point, what good is the 7th pick in the draft going to do you, right? If you have to give up a bunch of the other picks you've accumulated just to get in the position that you sit in right now. So, again, they should try to win, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a Jaguar fan being okay with this outcome today. That's what it comes down to. Absolutely. I expect the players to always try and win. Mike Glennon doesn't care if Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields comes here. What does he? He doesn't.
He won't be playing,
right? I mean, so yeah, I expect him to go out there and try to win. Doug Marrone's paid to try and win football games. I don't have any issue with the effort, that happening. But if the result ends up like this, I'm not devastated. Quite frankly, I mean, they're already eliminated from the playoffs. What are you playing for now?
Right.
You're playing for development of young guys, and you're playing to put yourself in position to get the franchise-changing quarterback.
All right, guys, let's come back. One final segment ahead. Big news night tonight. The Jaguars fall to the Browns, 27-25, but Dave Caldwell is out as the general manager. It's official. And Doug Marrone and the coaching staff are safe through the 2020 season, according to owner Shad Khan. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio. Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, the CSI Companies is one of the fastest-growing staffing firms in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI knows how important it is to find the right people for your team. See why some of Jacksonville's top companies choose CSI for their staffing needs. Visit thecsicompanies.com or call 800-582-0828 today. That's 800-582-0828 for the CSI Companies.
Why do you choose Farah and Farah? First, we have the financial resources to take on any insurance company, and our track record proves that we know how to win. Our attorneys and staff are a team, and we've worked together for decades. To us, our job is much more than just a paycheck. We love to help. And this is important. We never forget. It's not about us. It's all about you. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Floridians know what it means to stand together. That's why Florida Blue is committed to the people of Florida by providing health care with lower costs and higher quality. Enroll within 60 days of life-changing events, such as losing your job, to get benefits like plans as low as $0 a month and up to $500 per year towards your premiums in wellness rewards. Call 1-800-750-0164 or visit floridablue.com/care today. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Incorporated. These health benefit plans have limitations and exclusions.
Bold statement. Saving money with Geico is almost better than watching football. Think about it. When you're watching the game, yelling at the quarterback to throw the ball, throw it, Williams is wide open. Why are you doing this to me? Use that rocket arm. Come on. They don't listen to you. But if you went into a Geico office and yelled, "Someone please help me save some money on car insurance," everyone would hop to it. Except the intern, because it's his first day and he doesn't even have a computer yet. See? Better. Switch and save with Geico. It's almost better than sports.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Final segment of the Scoreboard Show. If you didn't get in here, the fifth quarter is coming up next, and it will be a busy evening. It already has been. Final score 27-25. The Jags have dropped their 10th consecutive game, a 1-10 record. And then the news after the game that the Jaguars have parted ways with general manager Dave Caldwell. He is out. He started here in 2013, and he is out in Week 12 of 2020. Head coach Doug Marrone and the coaching staff are safe through the 2020 season, according to Jaguars owner Shad Khan. Bucky, how attractive is this general manager job going to be once that comes around in the offseason? You got Shad Khan, who does give resources to the football team and the football side of things here. You've got probably a number 1 or 2 pick in the draft and another first-round pick this year, a bunch of picks in 2021 and beyond. Some young players you can build around on
Tons
this
of cap
team.
space.
And, $100 million of cap space.
They have, by some reckoning, the most cap space in the league. Some lists have them as number 2 projected, but among the handful of teams with the most cap space in the league.
Bucky, it's got to be as attractive as it gets.
Absolutely. It's a very attractive gig. I think you have to also understand state of Florida, no state tax. So it's very easy to get free agents to come there and pay them big bucks, and they know they can get more bang for their buck. I think when you're looking at the team, the first thing that a general manager do would assess the talent that is available there. And the first thing you do is like, hey, can I win down in Jacksonville? The ownership is going to give you every opportunity to put your plan in place, carry out to fruition, and hopefully you'll be able to win. And so he's not an impatient owner. So you like that. You like the fact that there is a solid core nucleus of guys that you would like to think that you can build around. You have capital in the draft and in free agency. You got a ton of cap space, so you can go and get the guys that you need to get to engineer, I don't want to say a quick turnaround, but they can accelerate the turnaround. And then the fact that you can go in the draft and you got, multiple first-round picks. You have a ton of ammunition to be able to move up and down the board. It's a very attractive gig. It's just a matter of finding the right general manager that fits what you want to have take place in Jacksonville. And I think that is very, very critical because a lot of the candidates will be first-time general manager candidates. How do you assess and determine which guy is the one that's going to be able to do the presentation in the interview, but then take that presentation and the plan that he talks about and implement it and put it into action. That is the difficulty when you're making these decisions, when you're Shad Khan and Tony Khan.
All right. You want to get a few more
Let's do it,
listeners
man.
in
Let's
and
get 'em
let
in.
them weigh in and ask Bucky whatever they want to ask. And that includes Travis in St. Augustine. Travis, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, bud.
What's going on, Mike B?
What's up?
Shout out Jaguars today.
You got it.
Man, we on the way home from the game. It was a fun game, but it still sucks, you know.
Yes, it does.
Hopefully,
You're right.
Hopefully we can figure it out next year.
I hope so. There's always next year.
Always next year. That's what we always say, right? Been season ticket holder for 10 years.
So what do you make of the decision to let Dave Caldwell go today?
I like it, and I don't like it. You know, he's drafted a couple good guys in the draft, but at the same time, he's made some bad decisions to let people go. So we'll see how it goes from here.
All right. Travis, thank you. Hopefully better days ahead. And let's try to squeeze William in on the west side as well. William, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead.
You're on the air. Hello.
Go ahead, William.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm calling, and I don't know, about 30 minutes ago, a gentleman called, and he seemed to be upset about the coaching of the Jaguars.
Yeah, seemed to be. Yes, he was.
Yeah. Well, I have some questions, and my thing is I'm somebody who coached football on various levels from junior high up to semi-pro, including high school, no college. And I'm a Jaguar fan. I'm a diehard Jaguar fan, and I watched the game from maybe a little different perspective. And my question centers on some of the coaching philosophies or some of the things that I see players doing, and I wonder if they're not being coached or if they're not disciplined on defense. I don't know who number 55 is. I don't remember his number. But on a couple of occasions, he just washed down the end of the line, and Baker Mayfield was able to roll out around him and complete passes without having any pressure because there was nobody there to seal the outside. And I was always taught and I always coached that if you're the end, no matter what, you still have to contain and seal the outside and not let anybody get outside you. And that seems to happen quite a lot with the Jaguars on defense. Okay, and then on offense, they don't know what a bootleg. They don't run a bootleg anymore. You have a solid running game, but you're down on the goal line on those conversions or short yardage. You know, you can fake the ball to your running back and boot to the other side and maybe throw a pass. I've never seen the Jaguars in the years with Gruden and anybody else. I don't see them do that. And I see other teams boot, and I'm wondering, is that not part of their philosophy?
All right, thanks for the call.
All right, yeah. I mean, I think we did see some of that with Gardner Minshew because he's a more mobile guy. But, Bucky, what do you make of those critiques?
I think some of the things, like on defense, when you have so many young guys playing, coaches can sit there and talk about it. They can practice. They can preach it. They can do those things. But sometimes it's hard for young guys to take it from meeting room to the field and execute it. And so I'll give the coaches a break on that. I will say with Mike Glennon, like the passing game that you run with Mike Glennon has to be different than the one that you have for Gardner Minshew. Mike Glennon is more of a classic drop back passer, and so you're not going to put him on the move because that's not what he does. I will give Jay Gruden credit. I feel like he does try and tailor the game plan to each quarterback that he has available to him. But there's only so much that you can do. A lot of it is all talent driven, and unless you have premier talent, you're kind of limited in terms of how many different things you can do with your game plan and with your playbook.
I think that one play late in the game when Glennon did roll left, had it been Minshew or Luton, I think either one of them would have scored on that. You know, and I think Glennon just realized, I got no shot. I am not outrunning these two
He's like,
men.
I can't make it.
Right, and I really do. And at first it looked like, oh, it's opening up wide, and then he just, he thought better of it. So, I mean, he's not the guy you're gonna roll the pocket with a ton. But, fair. I don't know who he was talking about. There's 55's Lorente McCray. There's no current 55.
Yeah, he's not on the
but
team.
whomever it was, I'm sure he was watching somebody and maybe just caught the number wrong. But whatever the case.
Yeah, and it's also hard. I mean, you're talking about a Cleveland Browns running game that I'm sure the defensive coaches talked about it all week. We got to stop the run. We got to get on Chubb. We got to stop Kareem Hunt. And so naturally, your first inclination is going to follow the running back. And I mean, that's what they do. They put you in a bind because they run the ball so successfully that then when they boot out the back door, you're kind of at a dilemma. Do I chase the run? And if I don't chase the run, then they're just gutting us. And if I chase it too hard, I'm susceptible to the bootleg. It's a very good scheme. It's a scheme that has worked very, very well for the Shanahans for years. Kevin Stefanski is taking it to another level because he has the personnel to be able to do so.
All right, guys, that'll do it for the Scoreboard Show. An eventful program tonight, by the way. And, Bucky, we will catch up with you on Wednesday on Jaguars Happy Hour for a few more days of thought about this GM situation around here. That kind of shook us up a little bit tonight after the game, but Dave Caldwell is out as the GM. And, Bucky, have a great week. We'll talk to you.
Okay, man, you guys be good.
All right,
Bucky Brooks out of here, NFL Network analyst, and I'm sure you guys will have a busy day tomorrow on
10
Jaguars
to noon on
Today.
1010XL. Check us out all week long.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we know what we're talking about tomorrow.
I think that's what everybody's going to be talking about moving ahead. Fifth quarter is coming up next. Thanks to our entire crew. For Bucky Brooks, for Mike Dempsey, I'm JP Shadrick. Jags fall 27-25 to the Browns. Dave Caldwell out as the general manager. And head coach Doug Marrone and the staff are safe through the 2020 season. That's it for the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.